Hello guys and welcome to Kelly Studios. This might be the first video, I'm not for sure. I'm recording it just to put something up because we need something to start up on, and we're starting with simple tutorials. And if you're supporting us right now, thank you so much. We're trying to accomplish something right here, trying to help out the designer community. Uh, we're also doing more stuff like photography, cinematography, like motion design, sound design, all that stuff. So let's get into the tutorial, and this is pretty much color cast. So this is the edited version of this photo, and this is the edited version of this photo. Now in this photo, without the color cast adjustments, it is this. So that is very bad. If you have something like that because you didn't set the proper white points or something on your camera, or something like that, and then or set your white balance or anything like that, you probably need to fix it in Photoshop, or you should have fixed it on your camera when you took the photo. But situations. But for this, the original was this very warm color cast here. You can also do some other things rather than just what I'm going to teach you, but these are the main things that you need to learn. But basically, I'm going to start with the first one with this backyard. So I'm going to delete this, and I'm going to duplicate this image layer. And what I'm going to do is pretty much go to filter, blur, and average on that duplicated layer. So pretty much what this did is to select the average hue of the whole image and pretty much just make a solid color. So what I'm going to do is select a layer that just applied the average blur on, and do Control I to invert that color. Now what you want to do is keep that layer selected and go up to where it says normal, which is your blending modes, and go down to where it says soft light, hit that, and that does get rid of basically like a lot of the color cast. But what you also want to do is this is not all the color cast removed. This image is actually very harshly color cast, so some of these like color values are kind of hard to get back, but it is possible if you just keep working on it. But what you can do is go to curves, which is if you don't have the adjustments layer or adjustments panel, you can either, it should be right here on the sidebar, or you can go to window adjustments. Anyways, what you can do is these are your shadows of the image, these are your highlights, and in the middle is your midtone. So shadows are darker areas, and highlights are your lighter areas. So basically, you want to select this black eyedropper tool, which is basically your black point, and what you want to do is on this little notch down here on the curves panel, just hold Alt and move it over to the right until you start seeing some of those values of black come in. So right here where the blue is, somewhere around here where the blue is coming in and the black, once you see that black, that's basically where the darker areas are, and where the blue comes in are the darker areas as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold Alt, and the darkest area is actually somewhere right here. I'll say right there. And what you want to do is select the white point and move it over, and hold Alt and move it over until you see those white points. So it will be those turquoise areas. But I believe the widest point is up on this roof right here. And what do you want to do? It really didn't do much. It adjusted with the contrast. It did mess with the colors, as you can see. But what we can do is close this panel out, or just click the arrow like that if yours is connected, and go to I believe, yeah, create a new curve. I'm sorry about that. Create a new curve, and what you want to do is go to the blue, down here. On this drop down menu where it says RGB, click blue. And somewhere around here, depends on the image that you have. I'm going to click and drag down and on the line and click and drag down. You can go as much as you can, or uh, you can be ignorant with it, or you can make it look good. So I'm gonna bring that down right there. Those greens can actually stay the same. The reds. I think actually I'm gonna create a new. So pretty much, if you make more points, it does adjust it. So right here, if I make a point down here, it is your more of the highlights area, and down here is your shadows. And basically, this is actually what I want, almost. Now you can see a lot of the color cast is gone. There is some values there, but most of it is gone. What you can do is duplicate this average blurred one and turn it down. Or I actually like that. And what you can do is go to your brightness and contrast. Kind of just play with that. And basically, that is how to do this image. And this is with 4 layers. You can also, it depends on the image, really. You can also do it with 1 layer, but this is very harshly color casted, so you have to do more with it. And if you just keep working with it, you'll eventually get what you want. But that's basically a good idea of what's happening. So if you go over to the other image, this is without color cast or minimal color cast. So in this one, I'm going to show you just a little bit of photo retouching, just a little bit, not that much. But I'm going to delete that. And what I'm going to do is, again, Control J to duplicate that layer, go up to Filter, Blur, and go to Average again. And again, it selects a average hue and value, like color value, and it will just make a solid color of that layer or image. And then what you want to do is do Control I to invert it. And then what you want to do is go up to, again, go to your blending modes with the layer selected and go down to soft light. And now that did get rid of some of it. This image is also harshly color casted. You can also duplicate it like that, but I'm going to decrease this one to 75% maybe. Yeah. So you can duplicate those, and she's starting to look normal. Some of those tonal values are still coming from the window, but and you do see some issues going on right here. You can go in here and with a brush or something and smooth those out. But anyways, now here's a quick tip to brighten her up, I guess. Make her the focal point. And basically, you want to create a new layer. Go to your brush, which I believe, yeah, B is the shortcut. And create or get your soft brush, which should be the first brush if you have default brushes. And what you want to do is just brush on her face where the darker areas are. I usually just go all around the face because it just brightens it up. And basically, if you're working with like someone's face and you're doing more of like a formal type image, then what you want to do is you want to brighten up their image, their face, but not too much. You just want to bring out those details of their face because that's the main focus of the image. if it's a picture something like this, or a picture of even like the president or something like that, like yeah, something like that. And what I'm going to do is get my eraser tool with a soft brush selected, or a soft, I'm not for sure what you call that for an eraser, soft eraser. And just go around the edges and just kind of erase. I mean, that's basically it. You don't want it going over her, like going over the edge of her and going onto like the background, because if you put on the blending mode, it will show up if you look close, and it will look bad. So you don't really want that. So I'm just trying to get rid of it out of her and whatnot. And make sure you get all the stray ones if you have a small brush. Just kind of go around like that. And basically, what we want to do is put it on, overlay. And I do want to erase some of this right here. Some of those aren't necessary on her face because they're already brightened up. I'm going to put this, actually, I'm going to create a curve and do the same thing that I did before in the other image. Real quick. White points, somewhere around there. What you can do is also create another curve, and what you want to do is just bring, go to your blues, just bring those up depending on where it is. Actually, I'm going to bring down the reds right around there. Bring down the greens just a little bit. Go to the blues. Yeah, I'm going to bring those up just a little bit. And what you can do, I'm going to lower the opacity of this to like, I don't know, something like that. That looks good. And that is bring out some of the tones of her face. You can see some of those are very dark. Now they're brightened up just a little bit. And that's basically it for this tutorial, guys. You got some color corrections. You got just a little bit of photo retouching, which is a very simple concept. Well, for this tutorial, it's a very simple concept. So basically, that's before and after. I think it looks pretty sweet. She looks good. And this backyard's looking pretty sweet with the dank colors. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for this tutorial. Make sure to drop a like or something if you want to. If you want to drop a dislike, that would be okay, I guess. And if you want to hit that subscribe button or something, maybe, possibly, I don't know. You don't have to. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you want some specific tutorials like starters or anything like that with Photoshop, simple tools in Photoshop, or the adjustments or filters or anything like that, just comment below, or you can email us. Email will be provided below. Just guys, make sure to have a great day, all right? Or night, or night. And I guess I'll see you later. This is Graphic Studios. We're out.